right. Hi, I'm Valerie Milano from the Hollywood Times.
Hi,
So
thank you so much for having me.
I am so glad you're here. So can you just introduce yourself for our audience?
Sure, my name is Sundeep Morrison. I'm a queer, non-binary Punjabi-Sikh writer, actor, and director.
Love it. Great, great, great. And you obviously live here in Los Angeles, right?
Yes, I'm originally Canadian, but I've been here for about 17 years, so I feel like I can claim the Los Angelesness that flows through me and be an Angelino.
Yes, yes. Well, I know we were talking before we got on record here, and I think we're going to get along great. I love it. I
Yeah.
love this connection that we have already. So and I love your film so much. So we have Punjabi, is that how you pronounce it?
Yes,
And
Punjabi.
yes, and it's got more to the title that
Yeah,
I didn't even realize. Your love, right? Is that
yeah.
what it stands for?
Well, actually, so the song that it's set to is a iconic Punjabi folk song, and the title of the song is "Ik Tera Pyaar," and that translates into "Your One Love." And so I thought, your love, yeah,
Okay, that I'm glad I asked you that. So it's a powerful use of no dialogue, and a brilliant piece of visual storytelling. Um, how was that decision made to forego the traditional dialogue and use visuals and expressive musical soundtrack to convey this message?
So originally, the song is this iconic old Punjabi folk song, and it was sung by Noor Jahan, who is, such a powerful artist. But there's been different iterations of the song, and so it was really an homage to the song. And so when I was approached as a storyteller to write and direct the piece, I thought, I have 3 minutes and 18 seconds to tell a story, and it's a love song we all grew up listening to. How am I going to convey that? So that's what kind of brought us into the world of it just being with music. And I always say, music is the other character in our film.
Oh yeah, it is totally. And how did the collaboration with Assad Khan? Is that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Convict. Yeah,
Con
Convict. His name's Asad Khan, but he goes by Convict, and he's a Vancouver-based producer. Does a lot of remixes with iconic folk songs, and just I think is really one of those souls that through music bridges builds, with builds bridges rather with culture. And so I was his fan for the longest time, and his team had reached out and they said, you know what? We have this new song we've been working on, and we want to do a queer love storyline. And I thought first, my question was why? You know, I was like, well, what's the inspiration? Why do you want to put this out? They said, you know what, we want to show a queer South Asian narrative. And so in exploring the song, right when I heard it, I thought, oh my gosh, it reminded me of my mom because I remember
um,
listening to it with her. And and so there was a story of a woman who came out in her 60s. And so that's what started me on the journey of thinking, what about all our queer elders, the invisible LGBTQI plus community that, in order to survive, they had to bury that most sacred part of themselves, whether it was for their own safety or societal or, family pressures. So me growing up in the world of Bollywood cinema and Punjabi cinema, I mean, the stories, it's boy meets girl or girl meets boy, and then they fall in love, but they're torn apart. But at the end of the film, it's going to get wrapped up and they're going to be together. And I thought, I've never seen South Asian, a queer love shown that way. And it made me think of that woman, and I thought, what if her story had a happy ending like that?
oh
So,
yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah. I know the music, just the visuals is just oof.
yeah.
Okay, so does the granddaughter arrange the meeting at the end between the two older women? And is the granddaughter's obvious? I don't know if I should be giving too much away. Is the granddaughter's obvious approval at the end, like her smile? Does this signal a generational change in Indian society, the attitudes towards LGBT relationships?
Yes, you got that right on, Valerie. That was my heart and goal with this is that, same-sex marriage is still illegal in India. People do not have rights. And I think around the world, even in the United States, there's a war on trans bodies, on same-sex love, period. And so for me, you know, growing up, being raised by my grandmother, I spent a lot of time with elders, and there were so many stories of the one that got away, or the love story that wasn't. And it just made me wonder how many of those love stories were queer. And also, I wanted to show that intergenerational healing of, you know what, a granddaughter being able to reunite her grandmother with her long lost love. That to me, it was honest. It was in honor of my grandmother as well, because she had sacrificed so much. So I really wanted to show that kind of intergenerational healing. So people could feel that.
Felt it. I got chills. What is the significance of the for mom at the end of the credits?
Oh, yes. So I lost my mom during the production process.
Oh,
So yeah, so my mom unexpectedly passed when we were crewing up. And so we put everything on pause. And so this story is my, you know, it's my directorial debut, and it was really dedicated to her, because at least when I sent her the song, she just was like, oh, this song, of course. And then I said to her, I said, Mom, I shared the script with her. I said, you know, it's going to be a love story between two girls. And she was like, oh, okay. And so to get her blessing was really beautiful. And because she was such a fan of the song, you know, I carried that with me. But it was, you know, we did take pause, but, you know, she's with me. She's with me through the entire story.
yeah.
Yeah.
And did she still live back there?
No, she passed away. So she's.
Did she though?
Oh,
She
did you
still
see it?
live
No,
there?
she didn't. Yo, she actually, my parents, they've been in the States for almost
Oh, okay.
years. Yeah, but they've gone, you know, back and forth to India. But for her, just the song connected her so much. And
Sure.
so I'm glad I at least got to share it with her.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So Delo, so you said Delo
Delo.
was mentioned in the special thanks. And actually, I was telling a writer friend, colleague of mine, that writes for the Hollywood Times as well. That was an actor. He was in Death and Bowling.
Yes, it's
with her.
so good.
Yeah. And did he collaborate with Khanvict on the music as well?
No, Dilo is actually, I'm so grateful to have his support. And so, you know, during the genesis of the story, you know, for me, he's a co-collaborator. You know, we worked in different creative groups, but he's so talented. And so for me, this was my first queer South Asian narrative that I was putting out. And just to have him in Community, I remember I had shared the first kind of rough cut with him, and even the story draft, but he really championed the story from the beginning of it. And so I think Community is so important, because it can be a little nerve-wracking when you're putting out content, again, because same-sex marriage is still illegal in India. And so I did show religious iconography. You know, that was one thing. And even the exchange of the bracelet, it's not just any old bracelet. That's a nod to my Sikh faith, because it is an article of faith. And so Dilo really supported the entire process. And I'm just so glad to be in Community with a soul like him.
Lovely. Wow.
Yeah.
Who's all going to be here for the showing?
Yeah, it's our North American premiere. So we've got our full cast and crew, because everybody not going to be based here in LA. So we've got our amazing leads, Anjali Khurana, Somaya Bagai, and then Sunny M, and Mona Shasodia is also going to be there. So our entire cast and crew, which we're just stoked to see it on the big screen.
Oh, great. Good. The location was very important, you know, to the visual storytelling. Where was it shot?
So it was all shot in Valley Village.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah, it was all shot in Valley Village. Shout out to our producer, Bhavani Rao of South Asian Women in Entertainment and South Asians in Entertainment. She actually opened up her home. So the interior shots are her very generously opening up her home. And we shot on location outside a park. I wanted to show, because the story setting is, you know, late 60s kind of British Columbia in Canada. I wanted to have that kind of lush greenery, and we just really lucked out with finding a park with kind of that tree romantic canopy setting. And so we just got really lucky with location and the generosity of our producer. Yeah.
Excellent. So what else are you thinking of? What's your dream to do next?
I love that question. There's so much, Valerie. I would love to use this story as a springboard for a feature. That's my heart dream for this story.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I love that idea. That's wonderful. And how can our viewers, our readers find you and your dreams?
Oh, thank you, Valerie. Follow our film, Your Love. It's at Your Love Short Film on Instagram. And we have all of our updates there. And then, follow our cast and crew. This is such a talented group of people right in our backyard. And again, our entire cast and crew is mainly, queer POC creatives. So follow our story, because we're so excited to finally get it to share it with the world, especially at Outfest.
Yeah, and we're going to spread the word for you as well, and we'll be sending you a link to all of our reporting to spread the word, because it's such a wonderful piece, and we appreciate your time and energy and the passion that you have for the project, because it's lovely. Just lovely.
And thank you to the Hollywood Times. I mean,
yes,
visibility and amplifying our story, it means the world. So thank you for being interested and letting us share your love.
For sure. And we are the HollywoodTimes.today if you want to find more about us out there. And we do have a YouTube channel. This sun is all over me, isn't it? It's called, our YouTube channel is the Hollywood Times Official. And I'm just looking forward to meeting you in person, because I can tell it's a great relationship already.
Thank you so much, Valerie. I appreciate
Thank you, sweetie. All right. We'll talk soon. I know. All right. Keep up the great work and the great vibe, and just your spirit is amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon.
Sounds great. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Bye.